As we take a look at this page, relationships in community building, maybe consider trying to find one idea that's going to be most helpful for you as you start off the year. Most likely you have plans of in years past what's worked well, and you've refined that from year to year for building community. One thing to consider this year that some of these resources will be helpful with is how do we do that in maybe a socially distanced way, or how do we do that knowing maybe some of the unique experiences our students have been through, trying to be empathetic towards all of their stories as they return to school. And so as we just try to adjust and adapt to this new beginning of a new year, just remember how last year kind of wrapped up for students. And I think as I listened into what different students were saying and thinking, is I think they really miss that community. And so for a lot of them, this is the first time that they're going to be around such a large group of people. I mean, however many kids we're going to have in our classrooms, right? Like, it's going to be just so different from them. And so keep that in mind as you strive to build a trust and really community and collaborative oriented environment to start off the year. One thing you want to make sure you pay attention to is setting up some expectations as far as, hey, if we are going to transition from classroom to online at some point, maybe set up some of those routines early on and expectations early on. Maybe there's a certain tech tool or app or system that you want your students to start using now and help them get the routines now. So that way, if we do transition in the future to a remote learning environment, they're ready for it and you're ready for it as well. So speaking of that, practical ideas for building community is one resource. I try to make these really simple and to the point, practical mostly. So basically, here's a list. We've got our attributes of PL to see how that ties in to building community in a various number of ways. So you can take a look through here. Where I would point your attention is 10 introduction ideas is just a unique way to get your kids talking to each other. Just about some random personal things. Circles of identity, that's a little bit deeper, but I think it's important for kids, again, if we want to establish trust, to be able to be vulnerable with each other and really kind of self-discover a little bit more about themselves. In addition, they can build a contract together. They can build some expectations in the classroom together. Hey, what's going to help you feel most safe in here? And that gives you space to share your own expectations with them. And so together you can create that. Additionally, if you're anything like me, you might not feel like a pro at technology and integrating it into the classroom. But the good news is oftentimes our students are. And so we get to ask them to build a classroom tech backpack. Hey, what are you guys good at? What do you like to do online? And then how do you think we can bring that into our classroom in different ways? Maybe you say, in a typical year, I would have a journal on paper. In a typical year, we would have discussions in person. In a typical year, we would turn in 3 projects, and this is what it would look like. Do you have any ideas how we might use and leverage this technology that you're saying you guys are good at into our classroom in some of these different ways? Lastly, I think it's important for us as teachers to self-reflect as well as our students, and so there's some resources there. The state of Ohio has put out a number of articles, very helpful, for helping us think about how to build relationships during this current pandemic. We have a website that links a lot of different articles and ideas into it. Another one that might be interested to you, if you normally start off the year with a game to try and build that community, this is an idea of some different games that you could do in a socially distanced way to build some community. And all of them can be adapted to what fits you, your style, and your students' needs the best. So thanks for taking a look through these articles. Again, I'd encourage you to have one takeaway. Even if it's something that you've already done and you see a spark here, adjust what you do to fit the needs of your students in this unique time.